Hello! If you click this video, you're probably wondering how to keep your fonts consistent across your entire image gallery when you are generating your images using AI. And today I would like to share with you 3 simple methods you can use to keep your font and any type of text consistent across all your brand images when you're generating them with AI. Let's just jump straight in. The first method is quite obvious and simple. It is especially effective if your font is very well known. For example, if it's something like Times New Roman, you do not need to come up with something crazy. You can just simply tell the name of your font to the image editor and the style you want it to follow. So for example, the way I did here, I just wrote text overlay, headline. I wrote what I want the headline to be, and I wrote the font name, font color, and the style. And that's it. That was enough to generate the image exactly as I requested. So just pay attention to the fonts here and to the text. It gave me exactly what I was requesting in the heading and in the subheading. That is why this first method is very simple, and if your font again is very well known and you think that AI will probably know it, even if it isn't, you may just test it because it is very simple. If you know how your font is called and if you know the exact style you'd like to follow, just try this, add all of this information in your prompt and see what you get. If the first method for some reason was not enough for you, you can try a second one. The second method requires you to have a reference image. So let's say you have already the font that you like, that you want to repeat in one of your images. So instead of just writing what type of font you need in your prompt, you can also show this exact font in the exact style you want in the reference image. So basically, the second method requires you providing the reference image showing the font that you want to have in your newly generated image. So now that you have these two methods, in 90% of cases, they will be more than enough, and AI will be able to repeat the font that you already like and you have in one of your images in the new image. But what about the cases when you have custom font? Or maybe you just saw an image where you really like the font and you want to repeat it in all of your new images. Additionally, this font might not be very well known, or AI does not really understand how it should look, and the reference image that you provide is not enough to generate font that you want. In such cases, let me show you an example. So let's say this headline has a font that I want to repeat. And let's say the first two methods did not work. In this case, yeah, this font is simple and AI would be able to repeat it using the first two methods. But let's imagine that there is something more complicated here in the headline. And in such case, if AI was not able to generate the same font using the first two methods, I suggest you do the following. Instead of simply providing this image as a reference, I suggest you prepare a little bit better and create a separate image that will be used just as a reference for your font. For example, here I used a prompt that you can just copy, you can just screenshot it, or just leave a message down below if you want, and I'll just share this prompt with you. You provide the reference image that you have with a font that you like and use this prompt. And what this prompt will give you is it will create an entire alphabet for you with all the letters in it. So then you will have a clear reference image that you will be able to attach any moment, and AI will clearly see how each of your letters should look. And then you will guarantee that no matter what your font is, AI will be able to recreate it in any image you want. So it's not very complicated. You can just copy this prompt that I used and adjust it to your case. It took me several attempts to generate the alphabet that was without errors. It worked better with Google Nano Banana 2 because there were 2 good options out of 3. And in Google Nano Banana Pro, I managed to generate only 1 option that was decent, did not have any mistakes, and did not miss any letters. So I'd recommend you using Google Nano Banana 2 for that. And this will guarantee that your text will be consistent across your entire image gallery. So hope it was useful, and if you need help with the images, feel free to message me. All the contact information can be found in the description for this video. And I'm wishing you nice sales and a great day. Bye-bye.